palmistry reading of a famous TV anchor, Arnab Goswami. He is an Indian journalist and a TV news anchor who is the editor and a majority owner of the news channel Republic TV. So we'll be taking a look at his hand and I would try to tell you what his hand basically shows. Before I start my video, I would request you to press the bell icon and don't miss another update. You can call me for a paid palmistry reading. The email and my phone number are mentioned out here. You can call me or you can email me. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image of Arnab Goswami. One of the things I would add out here is that the quality of the handprint is very less, so I would be able to tell only very limited things. Don't think that I would be able to tell everything. Probably what we are seeing out here, what we are able to see out here could be only limited things, like these particular lines could have branches, they could be unclear, but out here it's appearing to be very distinct and clear. So, and there could be few more lines that we are not able to see because of the bad quality of the hand image. But overall, what I can say about this hand, I would try to tell you. The first thing is that this is the headline and this is the lifeline. So you'll notice that there's a big gap between these two lines, the head and the lifeline. Even this particular hand image that you see out here, you would notice that there's a gap between the head and the lifeline. So whenever there's a gap between these two lines, it means that the person is rash. There could be rashness, the person could be outgoing, and the person never loses opportunity. These people are go-getters. They basically believe in action. They are action oriented and they would miss absolutely no opportunity, whatever opportunity comes their way. So this is the first aspect. The second aspect that we see on his hand is that this is the heart line, and this heart line is curving towards the end. Towards the end it is curving. You can see even in his second hand image that this heart line is curving upward towards the end. So whenever any person has a heart line that curves upward, it basically signifies that these people are very passionate and they display their emotions and they can't keep their emotions in check. It would be very hard for them to keep their emotions in check. There's another journalist, Ashutosh, and his hands also show similar indications, but in his hand, in Ashutosh's hand, he was a journalist and now he basically resigned from being a TV anchor to fighting an election. So his heart line was curving even more. So if you take a look at him, he was very expressive with his emotions, and even crying at times on TV shows. So a heart line that curves means expressive with the emotions. Suppose if the heart line was just straight, something like this, it would mean that the person is not expressive with their emotions, and those people are kind of keeping their emotions in check. So it doesn't mean that they are not sensitive, they are not touchy about things. So if we have to look that if a person is very touchy and sensitive, the heart line is going to reach the Mount of Jupiter and it's going to be straight. So when the line of heart is straight and reaching to the Mount of Jupiter, it would signify that the person is sensitive, yet the person does not display their emotions. But in this case, when the heart line is coming and ending somewhere close to the Mount of Saturn, this is basically the finger of Saturn, and the heart line is ending under the mount of Saturn. So Saturn basically signifies wisdom. Saturn basically means money management. It also signifies being grounded, knowing the ground situations very well. See, so these people have all these qualities within them. So you'd notice that from just being an anchor, he has his own TV channel. So try to understand, because he's very good at managing money, very responsible, because Saturn is the planet for responsibility. So any businessman, at one point you would say that he's just a journalist, but at the same time he's also a businessman. Because he's a very good businessman, that is the reason why he's been able to start from being a TV anchor, and now he is basically heading editor-in-chief and the owner of Republic TV. So this is what it says. So when you are looking at your own hand, basically you can be in any field, it doesn't matter. You can be a businessman, you can be a carpenter, you can be a saint, any field you might be, or running an ashram, or running a big firm, or being a scientist. Any person, or being an IS officer or a politician, any person who has their heart line ending somewhere close to the mount of Saturn, those people are likely to be able to accumulate good amount of money in their life. If you have this particular indication, it's a beautiful indication to have, and it would certainly give you money. So at one place, the person is rash, outgoing, so never missing out on an opportunity, and at the same time very good money management abilities. All these qualities basically gives this particular person success. So this is what basically it means. Now we look at the third option. The third option out here is the more for journalists, for any journalist, or for any businessman, or for any scientist or medical practitioner. This particular area is the most important area under the finger of Mercury. This is the finger of Mercury out here, and the area under it is very important. I'm not able to clearly see what is there under this particular finger. I just can't really comment. Probably there could be very less lines over it. That's a very good indication. And if a person has got perpendicular line, that is also a good indication. It's only when there are too many lines under it, that is basically a bad indication. We are not able to really take a look at what kind of lines are there under it. But if there are less lines, it is meaning that the person is an easy learner. They learn things very, very fast. Lesser lines means learning very fast. So it's something like a person is born with a clean slate, a clean mind. So a child is born without anything in his mind, but whatever he's taught, they basically are able to learn much more faster. Their graph of learning is much more faster. So having less lines over the amount of Mercury means the ability to learn much faster. And you would notice that probably this particular area that we see out here, this has a padding over it. There's padded area over it. So padding of this particular mount, the mount of Mercury, mount of Mercury basically represents memory also. This is the area of, it's something like an encyclopedia. So a person who has a prominent mount of Mercury, a padded mount of Mercury, is likely to have great amount of knowledge within them, and they can apply this great amount of knowledge in their work. This work could be anybody. It could be journalism, it could be business, like calculations. So calculations and communication, everything comes from the finger of Mercury. The person could be extremely good at communicating or calculations, provided this area has got less lines over it. The lesser the lines over the amount of Mercury, the better it is considered to be. Even a singular line is considered to be good, or maybe 2 or 3 lines, but those lines should be distinct and clear. The clearer the line, the more the person has got skill. Do not confuse these particular lines that I've drawn to be the children line, because these are the line of attachments. Any line perpendicular over these particular area are basically considered to be the lines of children. So but these lines that I've drawn, these are the lines of skill. So I'm not able to really find if this area is prominent or not, and so I wouldn't basically comment much about it. The other last aspect that I would add out here is that you would notice that the fingers are thick, like the bone structure is reasonably strong, and there's reasonably good padding over the mounts. So if a person has got padding over the mounts, it means that those qualities, whatever that particular mount represents, are there in abundance. So we can't say with certainty what mounts are prominent, but it just appears that the mount of Mercury is important, padded, and the mount of Venus is prominent. So mount of Venus is basically the area of energy and stamina and vitality and grace and beauty and love and warmth within the particular person. So you would notice one thing, that people who have a prominent mount of Venus, they basically have uninterrupted energy levels. They have got unimaginable energy levels. So more the energy levels the person has, the more the person is able to give energies to their work, and that's the reason the person is successful. So try to understand energy is the main thing. And you would notice Arnab Goswami comes on a daily basis, like at least 5 times a week, and constantly he's full of energy, and it has been there for past 10, 15, 20 years. He has been doing it continuously. This kind of energy not everybody has. See, some people could be marathon runners, some people could be doing businessmen, but these businessmen also have to be consistent with their energies. If they do not have the energy, probably they are not going to be working for it. And this is also, the Venus is also the area of your desires. So more the desires, the more likely you are going to be working towards your goal. So this is what basically I can see in his particular hand. If I had a better hand image, I would have been able to tell you more things, but because of the limited quality of the hand image, I would just stop right here and nothing else. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this particular video, click on the like button and do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Give a like button, give a subscribe. If you like the video, you can subscribe to my channel. And before I end my particular video, I would request you to just go through this. Importance of money line in terms of how much money we will have is just 15%. It is every aspect of your palm that matters. And like in this case, I've told you about Mercury, I've told you about Venus, and every line can tell about money matters. Even the heart line, as I've explained in this particular video, can tell about the money line. A saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. Thanks, bye, and take care.